So you remember also part of the Star Wars, the R2 and everything that I told you, that we could actually make it, and I already used it in the past. But as I've been phrasing, people had judged me really wrong because they stigmatize my personality and they make me a bad reputation. So that's why also I'm going to be I'm claiming because I see the potential that actually can transform for the first action that I just talked about, and it was making a classic, and why rock is pretty important, and in another way of understanding, because it's also this multiverse gives us a lot of examples of how we can actually make the new sources of energy to try to go to that place. And that was that's why it's important, and how is that we are letting that as I told you, darker forces want to destroy and keep harming with all the questions that maybe philosophy brings us. Why I get so much, why I feel inferior if I'm from, color, ethnics, all types of things that music transform in. It was a really nice thing, and also something that you were trying to ask me a lot of times. Like you would try to ask me all the time, why you try to use this term, and maybe it would be the minority when if I told you in the first video how the spaces are being manipulated towards the information or towards like broadcasting. Like let's take an example. For example, Videodrome. That's a really great movie. And when you study and analyze Videodrome, you might understand what I'm trying to tell you, and how it's boring for you, but in the way if I add it into my sources or energy, or the way that I wanna make the correct meetup and agreement, is that what I said also is dedicating for those lives that were torn apart because of the same, like majority sometimes is just celebrating, and we're not going to be caring about the vision, or and also how is the other way of transform in what you have seen from other people, and you can actually make it in on your own potential, and it's something that it just gives you, but people might say it's not fair, but for me it would be. Why? Because we have seen all of it, and maybe you deserve it even more. Now, talking about in the time lapse that I have maybe the opportunity, because when I said to a person that I tried to tell him, and I said please just let me try to approach, and I said don't ask anybody, because maybe they want to be collaborating, it's not only one person's job, it's a lot of persons, then maybe it could work. You have other friend over there that I already sometimes I have been given some of marks of try to get into that thing. We have same likes and things like that, but I'm not trying to get into a bond to nobody or try to make it something personal, because I'm not like that. I'm really pursuing, but I respect you a lot. I respect the whole crew, all of you. I feel like you are really fucking talented, and I wish that I could have that but in the way that I'm being, I call you already, and I put you the frame of the Jenga reflection, and how people from these people, evil persons, they try to just take movement so you cannot grow as much, and you cannot be a danger. But also you have the music as a way of understanding this direction of not this direction as you are thinking in a pop way, but in a rock solid, more interesting. That's other way of actually being reflecting with poetry and music as you see music, and you added even more and more into sports so well. So in the time lapse that I met you, I used to call this is Bellido. Why Bellido? Because not only brings my memories back, but also like not only one person or one friend that I met, because there were several, but in this dedicated one, maybe I was not that fair, and I actually want to owe you an apology, but I cannot be discussing about these topics in this narrative. And I'm really sorry about everything, because maybe I was you were the only person that actually cared, and I pushed them away in that time lapse, because I was like feeling really devastated of actually what was hurting me inside. And I never was able to realize. And these memories drive me back, but I also think about and it's like being touched by holy experiences. Let's try to make this. And then we talk about also some of the things that I really don't want that you experience. For example, it's something that they do to Amy, and that's Amy Winehouse. Do you know that? Well, she's like, and a lot of people that have been into depression and they have known rock, but they have been left alone because maybe the rhetorical of the way of reflection of celebrating is sometimes auto-destructive perhaps, and sometimes we are not concerning about the how much energy you are driving, and actually it's God which is meeting these bridges or portals that are occurring, and so in this way this existence continue, and the drivers that are